Hello and welcome everyone to the Longevity with Light webinar that we are having every month. I'm your host, Leslie Klein, and I'm so excited about this wearable light technology that I have been wearing now for 4 months. This month, we're diving into the powerful benefits of the X49 patch, which it's a breakthrough in light therapy designed to support strength, recovery, and overall well-being. So our special expert today is Trey Holweger. He is the son of Dr. Staci Holweger, who you met last month. But before I bring Trey up to the stage, please let me introduce to you my wonderful co-host. First, we have Tomisa Leiden, who is a longevity consultant. Tomisa, welcome. And we have Executive Director of LifeWave, Beth Steele. So happy to have you ladies here.
Thank you. Good to be
And
here.
yes. And I want to also welcome all of our viewers who are watching. And remember, you can ask questions in the chat from whatever platform you're watching or from the webinar actually itself. So, Tamisa, would you please read the disclosure, the disclaimer before we start? Here it is.
Sure. We want everyone to know that LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The information we're providing is just for educational purposes only, and it should not be considered as any kind of medical advice. And individual results may vary, so consult your health professional before using the products, especially if you have a medical condition or you're taking any medications.
Thank you, Tamisa. All right. So, our guest today is Trey Holweger, and he is a passionate wellness entrepreneur who's all about helping people feel their best with this powerful light based technology. He's the son, as I said earlier, of the amazing Staci Holweger, and she is a functional medicine doctor. So you could say that helping people heal is in his DNA. With a background in real estate and the stock market, Trey brings a grounded, heart centered approach to everything he does. You're going to love his energy, his story, and his vision for living a long, vibrant life. Please welcome to the webinar, Trey Holweger. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, Trey, obviously you're very young looking. So I know that you started using the LifeWave patches at a young age. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey with LifeWave patches?
Yeah, so I started using the patches when I was 16. My mom got me introduced, Dr. Staci. At the time, I was playing basketball. So she actually started me out with like energy enhancer because I was a little skeptical at first, but obviously I'd do anything she tells me that would help me on the court or, health in general. So I used the patches back then. And to this day, 4 years later, I'm 20 now and I still use them. So I love them.
So it helped with your basketball game.
Yes, yes.
And which was the patch that you started with?
So I actually started with Energy Enhancer, and then I quickly moved to the X39 and Eon. She calls it cleaning out the cobwebs. And after that, I got into like lifting very heavily, hypertrophy strength training. And I started using X49 and carnosine as my main two. And I've been using those ever since. I mix and match with other ones as well.
Okay. So the X49 I know helps a lot with muscle mass and building. So is that why the X49 was something that you really enjoyed using?
Yeah. I looked into a little bit about X49, and I actually first heard about it is because David was speaking and he was talking about testosterone, he was talking about muscle building, and that was, as a 17-year-old, that was something I really wanted. I wanted more testosterone. I wanted to build a lot of muscle. I wanted to look like these guys online that you see that are huge, regardless if they're using anything crazy. But yeah, so I started using those. Shortly after, I learned about the AHK production, which was a daughter peptide to the GHK production of the X39. That's why they work so good synergistically together. And I use those together a lot. it's important that I use the X49 along with it, because I do want to reverse age, kind of just like keep my same age because I'm already young, but keep my age static and slow my aging process is what I'm trying to do. So with the X49, you're also going to get improved protein synthesis in your muscles. So when you actually train a workout in resistance training, you're going to damage the fibers in the muscle. And so it usually would take around 48 to 72 hours to repair this muscle. And that's where you're going to get your growth. So you have to hit your protein goals. You have to get your water intake for these patches to work as optimally as they can. And that's what I try to do, is optimize the whole routine. And so using X49, it's going to expedite that process, allowing me to get higher frequency training, allowing me to expedite my process of muscle growth. So it's really helped me in the gym with that. And also another thing with improved muscle protein synthesis is you're going to get enhanced stamina in the gym. So you're going to get extra reps in your sets. You're going to get better muscle development. So when you work out a lot, you actually develop a lot of muscle maturity, and it actually shapes how your muscle looks and how it feels and how it reacts when you work out. So that all comes with age. But when you're having improved muscle protein synthesis using X49, you're actually going to get that muscle maturity a lot faster. So a 4-year lifter or 5-year lifter, such as myself, is going to have much better muscle maturity, something more of like a 9 to 10-year lifter would have with nothing. So another thing that I love with the X49 is reduce muscle soreness. I know if you have a really intense training with resistance training, you could be very, very sore for the next few days after that. And I know that X49 has been making although like I'm still in training super intense, the soreness dissipates after 24 hours. Like it's usually the soreness peaks around 48 hours when you're not using anything. And I find that my muscle soreness goes away a lot faster now. So yeah, with the reduced muscle soreness, it supports higher frequency training. So you're allowed to train more frequent, meaning you're going to gain more muscle, meaning you're going to just have a more efficient output. So another thing that I love with the X49 is going to be the enhanced bone density. And this for me is not a huge problem because my bones are very dense, but for someone in the older generation, this could be a main key factor that they actually use X49, is just for the bone density. As you get older, obviously everyone knows your bones get less and less dense, very like crippling. It can be if you don't take the right supplements or use X49. So that is probably the top thing for someone in the older generation. And to go along with that, stamina and endurance in the gym, I get the best pumps. And so a pump, for someone who is not into the gym, it's like when you lift and you pump tons of blood into your bicep. If you're working biceps or whatever muscle you're working, you pump a bunch of blood into there. That's going to be the pump. So you can kind of gauge if your body is full of proteins and carbohydrates, you're going to get a better pump. If you're hydrated, you're going to get a better pump. If you have a great sleep schedule, you're going to get a better pump. And with X49 along, you're going to get a better pump. So I do love that. You get kind of like, I don't know, an inflated ego. You see yourself bigger than you actually are. You look great in the gym. And that's another thing that I love about this. And that's also, I pair it with energy enhancer quite often, just because to even push it further, like even enhance my performance even more, just to feel great without having to use caffeine. It's amazing. So for strength and hypertrophy training, I've done both. I used to strength train bench, squat, and deadlift a lot. Now I've kind of gone into the hypertrophy mode now. And I can tell you that both modes of training work very great with the X49. X49 helped me break many, many PRs, which is personal records or personal best, or, you can call it whatever you want, but it has helped me break tons of personal best for strength, as well as I've looked the best that I've ever looked, and I've been lifting for 5 years, and I genuinely feel great and look great. And it's also very good for optimizing longevity. of my physique, because after you get to a certain point, it's very hard to gain more muscle. And this kind of aids so that I'm not losing muscle. I'm never losing. Like, so the muscle is either in a state of growth or a state of shrink. It's either shrinking or growing. So if you work out, it goes up, you're tearing the muscle fibers, and then you're recovering. And then once it's recovered, it's up again. So it's either going up or down. It's never linear. And so the X49 really helps me to not lose as much muscle on those down spurts. So the last thing I want to cover with X49 is the mental clarity. I find that I'm very focused in the gym, kind of like a caffeine effect. I don't take caffeine anymore. I used to when I was playing basketball a lot. And it can be detrimental if you abuse a lot of caffeine. So being able to wean off of it and use X49 or energy enhancer when needed is the most amazing thing. But the cognition and the mental clarity I receive is somewhat of, if I had to compare it, it would be somewhat of like taking a caffeine pill. It's honestly unlike any other, natural remedy that I've tried. So, yeah, that's all.
Well, I wanted to bring my co-host on here because Tamisa, especially, she works out. I'm not a gym person like you guys, but Tamisa knows all about building muscle, and I figured, Tamisa, you might have some questions or comments about using the X49.
Oh, I do. I loved hearing everything you said. I have never heard the phrase that pump you were talking about. So
Yeah.
Are you saying that you get a better pump like building that muscle or just as you're using it?
Yeah. So I get a better pump. So the pump is comprised of like a lot of things. And I don't know, for me, I can always tell if I have a good or a bad pump, and it always depends on what I do before the gym. If I have enough carbohydrates in my body, because that's going to fill your glycogen storages in your muscles. It's going to appear fuller. Am I well hydrated? Another thing, because obviously the muscle is 70% water. If you're dehydrated, it's going to look, you're going to get the dry look, and it's not going to be as full. X49 is somewhat of, if I had to compare it, it would be like a pre-workout. A pre-workout would be like comprised of caffeine and amino acids of such like beta-alanine, L-citrulline, and things like that. And it increases blood flow to the muscles. And so you appear more full after you exercise, do resistance training on said muscles. So it'd be just on the muscles that you're working that day, you would have a pump.
And follow-up question on that. So that pump is kind of goes with you as you go. I mean, that's just that you're going to stay pumped all day kind of a thing. And your muscle is building and staying at that fullness. Or is that just every day that you work, or every time you work out, that's where your fullness comes in?
Yeah. So the pump only lasts for about an hour after you work out. It's basically just like hyper inflating your muscles while you're working them out. You can see yourself as bigger than you actually are. So like if I worked out my bicep, my tricep, my arm would probably grow a half an inch in diameter with a pump. And then an hour later, it would be back to normal. But you being able to see yourself bigger than you actually are just gives you more motivation to go to the gym tomorrow, because you want to look like that resting. That's always the goal, is to look like yourself pumped resting. So that's always what I think about it.
Well, that is so cool, because one of the other questions I wanted, and then I'll let the other gals ask, if you don't work out as often as like you do or on a regular basis, the X49, does that help just maintain muscle mass if you have kind of slowed down in what your workout routine is?
Yeah. So although the X49 does allow you to work out more frequently because it increases the recovery in your muscles, it also allows you to not work out as frequent and maintain the muscle that you did work out for. So it goes both ways. If you want to be a high frequency person that trains, or you want to be a low frequency trainer, you can do either one. It's going to help you both ways.
Oh, I love this, because everybody's getting ready for the summer and shedding clothes and building muscles. So thank you.
Yeah.
No problem.
That's great.
Beth, did you have a question for Trey?
Yeah, a couple kind of back to back. Like, is there any kind of time frame? People always say, how quickly can I expect results? Like if I am working out, that I, recover faster or build up faster. And then also kind of about how to wear it, how long, how much, anything kind of on the technicalities of wearing the patch.
Yeah. So I wear the patch every day, 12 hours, just because I'm in the gym 6 times a week, maybe 7 times a week. I try to take a rest day, but it's really hard for me to take a rest day. So sometimes I'll just go to the gym and go do the sauna and maybe like one muscle, but I try to do one. But so like, yeah, I do it every single day. That's a non-negotiable for me. And then what was your other question? Sorry.
About how quickly does someone expect results?
Oh yeah. So I would say for the recovery aspect, if you're really in tune with your body and you have been working out, you can kind of tell if your recovery is faster. I would say on that, maybe a couple weeks, you could notice faster recovery. And I think on the improved muscle growth, it would be somewhat similar as to someone who's never worked out before. I would give it a few months. Usually someone who's never worked out, a few months, you're going to see great results from the gym. It's called newbie gains. And X49 is kind of the same way. I would say a few months, you're going to tell something 100%.
Oh, that's very motivating.
Yeah, it is.
Trey, where exactly do you wear the X49 patch?
Right now, I have it just on my shoulder here. I do rotate it around. Sometimes I put it on C7, but I like it on the shoulders because when I'm in the gym, I'll take my shirt off and I wear like a tank top. And so you can see my shoulders and people always come up to me and say, what's that? Blah, blah, blah. And so I get into it, but it's kind of a good conversation starter. Just put them there. But I put them on the C7 too.
And you've been patching since you said 4 or 5 years. Started at 16.
4 years, yeah. 16.
Okay. So, now, gosh, I'm forgetting my question.
At
Go ahead.
16, did you start with the X39? Because at 16, you have such young stem cells. So at 16, you start with X39 still?
16, the first thing was energy enhancer, was because I wanted, like, I looked at the patches because my mom was telling me about them, and I was like, what's going to help me on the court? Energy enhancer. But then right after that, I did do X39 and Eon because it was her like protocol, cleaning out the cobwebs is what she calls it.
Yeah.
But I switched off that after a couple months to X49 because I started getting into the gym then. And I've been doing that ever since.
Okay.
Didn't I hear somewhere in one of your other talks that you had a basketball injury maybe, and when you first started using patches? And can you tell us just a hair on how that recovery went?
Yeah, so I had a really, really bad sprain. I was going up for a layup, and I jumped up in the air, and I came down on my ankle like this, and it was just a really bad sprain. I couldn't walk like that night. I had crutches. Like I went to the emergency room and got crutches. So then the next day I was like, I can't be off the court for this long. So, but they were saying a few weeks. And so my mom was like, she like tripled me up on Eon, glutathione, X49, X39, and carnosine, triple of all of them around my whole ankle. My ankle was like this big at that point, and it was on the whole thing. And then within 2 days, I was walking fine back to school. And I think it was like a week and I could like practice again. I still had to wait a little bit longer for games, but it was a lot faster, probably like 4 or 5 times faster than like normal recovery. It was because technically I was on like leave because I didn't have to go back, but I just decided to because I was feeling good.
Wow, that's great.
4 to 5 weeks. Wow. So how often do you wear the carnosine patch?
Most days. I'll do carnosine probably like 5 days. Basically all my lifting days. If I take a rest day, I won't wear it, but I'll still wear the X49 just because I want to, even on a rest day, technically I'm building muscle because my muscles are repairing, but I want to make sure the muscles that are not repairing, that they are not shrinking. So I'll still wear the X49 every single day, but carnosine training days, and so I'll substitute glutathione here and there. Just if, like we're going to Punta Mita soon, So I'll probably wear glutathione after Punta Mita.
Wonder why.
Yeah, why?
You have such a protocol for everything. When I'm just kind of interested in keeping muscle without having to work out all the time, but you have lined that out very nicely and tell us what all you do, what your protocol is, and it's great. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
So, Trey, I wanted to ask the question about the X49. So, you wear that one every day, not like the X39, because that's for stem cell activation. So, is it something that you wear it during the day, of course, but can it be worn at night as well? Would there be a reason why someone would want to wear X49 at night, or is it only a daytime patch?
So what is recommended is you wear it in the daytime because it increases ATP in the muscles and at the mitochondrial function. So on some or most people, you're going to get increased energy. That's what I see. So, excuse me. When I put it on at night, it tends to keep me up, and I find that a lot of people say the same. So I would experiment. It's up to the individual. If you try it at night and you have no problems with your sleep, then by all means, you can use it at night.
Okay. And I had a question about the LifeWave business because I know you've been patching for 4 years now, but when did you actually start doing the business yourself? Or is that something your mom just kind of like said, you're doing this business?
No. I've been around network marketing my whole life with my mom, and I used to do presentations when I was 8 years old on charting to ranks for people that were, probably quadruple my age. And it was really fun back then. And I wasn't really interested in it until I was like 17, almost 18. And I was like, Mom, tell me about the comp plan. Because I was always really big into comp plans. And I decided right then and there, we were at a French LifeWave meeting, like some European meeting that they had in France. And I was like, I'm in, I'm doing this. So when I turned 18, that's when I started building the business.
Okay. And are your clients, the people that you help, are they more from your age group, or do you have all kinds of people that are part of your team?
So here just lately, I've gotten a few of my friends because I'm trying to build a young team for the future of LifeWave, I guess you could say. But right now, the majority of my business is, if I had to put a number on it, 60 plus would be the majority. Wow. On age.
Yeah. Interesting.
So talk about Punta Mita, that trip, because LifeWave has a lot of incentive trips. I'm just starting to find out myself. I only started back in November. So tell us what you had to do to be qualified for Punta Mita, and how excited are you about going? And this is only happening in a couple of days, right?
Yeah, it's happening in 2 days. I'm leaving in 2 days. So so LifeWave has a point system. You get 100 points. Not too hard. Honestly, you can sign up literally today and you could earn the next trip without even being manager, because you can get, just by signing people up, you would gain points, and then by helping your people rank up, you would also gain points. And it's been pretty easy for me because I do frequently sign people up and help my people on my team rank up. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Punta Mita because obviously it's an all-inclusive, and I get to bring a friend because I guess if you do 130 points or whatever, you get to bring another friend for free. So I always bring a friend on these trips, and that's actually why I've gotten a few of my friends to join LifeWave. I bring them on the trips, so maybe that's a good idea for someone who has a prospect. You bring them on the trip, but yeah, I'm really excited to go to all the future trips as well, because I'm definitely going to earn them. But yeah, it's a blast.
Awesome. And how many trips have you been on so far?
Probably like 6 or something. I'm not I'm not sure. We go on a lot of trips.
You've been all around the world by now, right?
I'm trying. Yeah, that's my goal, is to go to all the major continents. Would be awesome.
Well, and you're building muscle, so you can show it all off, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Go to the Punta Mita beaches and on what I've been
Work on your tan.
Watch out for the patch lines.
Oh yeah, that actually is pretty funny.
Have to put it on your clothes instead.
A big circle right here on my shoulder.
That's another conversation starter too, though.
It is.
Cute.
Oh, that's fun. Do they work any better in the sunlight? My light.
I feel like there's some study on that. I don't know, but I feel like there should be something. I mean, obviously, maybe it's not that the patch is getting like better in the sun, but it's your body is getting energized in the sun from the various things that the sun does for you. And so that in turn could help with the patches, just like, being hydrated really helps with the patches performance. So you could definitely argue that being in the sun would definitely help with the patches performance.
Yeah. Makes sense for sure. And I bet your mama knows.
All right, ladies.
Awesome.
Do you have any other questions for Trey?
I'm good.
How much water do you drink or suggest someone drinks to stay hydrated? I know that's
half your body weight in ounces is a good rule of thumb. But I mean, if you work out, you're going to want to add probably another 25% onto that. So
because you're sweating.
Yeah, because you're sweating a lot of that out. So I like to do, a gallon a day. I mean, I weigh a little over 200 pounds, so it's usually on par. And I feel pretty hydrated. My muscles feel full. So I think that's adequate.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, Trey, thank you so much for spending some time with us before you get ready for your big trip. And hopefully, well, I know Beth is going on this trip too, right?
Yes, yeah.
So she will be there.
Yeah.
We'll see him at the next one, Leslie.
Yes,
we'll see him at the next one.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Trey, for your time, spending your time and your knowledge and encouragement. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on the show. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right. So
thanks, Leslie.
I'm going to, you're welcome, ladies. I want to talk about next month real quick. So next month, we're going to be talking about the Alavita patch, and it's Dr. Debbie Beavers will be our guest speaker next month. And the tinyurl.com/L for longevity, May 2025, with the M capitalized as well. This is where you can register for next month's. And if you want to get your hands on these patches, please contact the person that invited you to this event, to this webinar. So thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will see you next month. Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Take care.